Hello everyone, I am Ms. Divya Verma, Faculty of Social Studies, Class 7, Mount Literacy School, Jhansi. Students, till now, the chapter we had discussed in the video lectures were chapter number 1 of History, chapter number 1 of Geography, chapter number 1 of Civics. Hope so you all understood those chapters and also going through the websites of NCERT books as well as the learning app provided to you all. So today we will be discussing some parts of chapter number 2 of history, that is new kings and kingdoms. Now in this chapter students in class 6 you must have studied about Harshvardhan and its large kingdom, Gupta Empire and its kingdom. Now, through the transition from ancient to medieval period, Indian history was a gradual process that happened with a slow collapse of Guptas, Harshas, and ending of classical period. So, with the end of these period, now as the rulers of ancient period like Harshvardhan died, the kingdom broke down into smaller kingdoms. With this, by the 7th century, big landlords, warrior chiefs called Samantas became more powerful, and the existing kings also acknowledged them as the subordinate or Samans. In actual, Samans can be defined as Senapati, or we can say big landlords or warrior chiefs. They were subordinate to the existing kings. They bring gifts to the kings, they provided military support and gained power and wealth. Also declared themselves as Mahamandaleshwara or Mahasamant. Now, let us know about kingdom. New kingdoms emerged. Before, what happened was the kings were made by inheriting from its ancestors, but then after, kings were also made with power and wealth. That is, the one who have too much of power becomes the king. But with the fall of Harshvardhan was accompanied with the rise of Rajputs. The Rajputs were the most important rulers of the northwest India. They belong to Sun family as well as the Chandra family, that is Suryavanshi and Chandravanshis. So let us talk about some more kingdoms. Now you may see in the map coming in front of you, you may see there are some kingdoms emerging like Rashtrakutas, Gurjara Pratiharas and Palas. So let us talk about Rashtrakutas. Rashtrakutas of Deccan were the subordinates to the Chalukyas before in the 7th century, but after that in the mid 8th century, Danti Durg, a Rashtrakutas chief, overthrew his Chalukya overlord and performed a ritual called Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha was a ritual performed to become a Kshatriya, as the one who is not by birth a Kshatriya performs a ritual called Hiranyagarbha. So now another case we can discuss is about Kadamba dynasty. Maurice Sherman was the founder of Kadamba dynasties, and Gurjara Pratihara, the founder of Gurjara Pratihara was Harishchandra. This Kadamba and Gurjara Pratihara dynasties, these both kingdoms used their military skills to carve out the kingdoms. That is, Kadamba founder Maurice Sharma and Gurjara founder Harishchandra, they were Brahmins by birth, but were from very rich Brahmin families, but just for spending and establishing their kingdom, they gave up the traditional Brahmin profession and started picking up the arms and fought wars and established the kingdoms in Karnataka and Rajasthan respectively. So this way, Maurice Sharman became the first ruler of Kadamba dynasty and Harishchandra became the first ruler of Gurjara Pratihara. So Rashtrakutas, Kadamba, Pratiharas, this way Palas were one of the kind of dynasties who also ruled. Now let us know about administration of the kingdom. Like king gave themselves high sounding titles like Maharaja, Adhiraja, Tribhuvan Chakravartin, that means overlord of the king and the lord of the three worlds. They gave them high titles. They also shared their power and took help from the subordinates or Samantas and peasants and Brahmins. They collected taxes from them, like cattle keepers, peasants, artisans used to give them the tax. Now can you imagine why were the taxes collected by the kings? Like to finance the establishment, that is to give them the salaries to the soldiers for wage wars, like for fighting the war they want ornaments and all, like for constructing massive structures like forts, temples, palaces, and many things like expenditure on jewelry and food. These were the expenditures. Now what are Prashastis? Prashastis were Sanskrit poems written by Brahmins in praise of kings. They contain details which may or may not necessarily be literally true. These were composed by learned Brahmins. Now, what are land grants? Land grants are the land which were granted to the Brahmins in place of praising of the kings. Like, just to give respect to the Brahmins, kings used to give land to the Brahmins. Now, in this session we have talked about some kingdoms emerged. Now, in the next session we will be discussing about warfare for wealth. Like, we'll be discussing about some invaders who invaded India for wealth, and go through this assignment given to you all. Thank you.